the one, the only, Ben Good afternoon and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube Table Enabled. Today we're doing Shulchan Aruch Yomi Siman Reish Chav Dalet 224 as we near the conclusion, the completion of the second Chelek of Mishnah Brura. Dine Brachos Pratios 13 halachas, but they're short halachas. Aleph Haroah Marklus Oshar Avodas Kochavim Omer Baruch Hashem Elokeinu Melech Haolam Shenasan Erech Apayim L'Over Ritzono. There's a bracha you say when you see Avodah Zarah. Now, what's quantified as an Avodah Zarah nowadays? It's hard to tell. Islam is definitely, according to most poskim, not considered Avodah Zarah. If you see a mosque, not Avodah Zarah. If you see a church, questionable Avodah Zarah. Probably something like Rachas HaHakel. Maybe you see like a Buddhist temple, something like that. Maybe that's Avodah Zarah. Marklus was some sort of Avodah Zarah the Gemara describes. He used to throw rocks at it. If you see something like that and you're sure it's Avodah Zarah, then you make the bracha. Like all these brachas, it's only if you see it, and only once every 30 days. If you see it a second time within 30 days, you don't make the bracha again. According to the Ramah, who lived in Krakow, Poland, in the 1500s, late 1500s, he said they see Avodah Zarah all the time. I don't know what Avodah Zarah he was talking about. Probably Christianity. So I guess that he assumed that Christianity was Avodah Zarah. But because you see it all the time, you don't make the bracha. I mean, you make it the first time when you become bar mitzvah. After that, you wouldn't make the bracha. A place where you see that Avodah Zarah was removed. It used to be a church. They bought the church. They made it into a shul. Uprooted Avodah Zarah from our land. V'im hu b'chutz haaretz is in outside of Eretz Yisrael. Omer sha'akar avodas kochavim me'makom hazeh, from this place. V'omer b'shtein kishem sha'akarta oso b'makom hazeh kain ta'akar oso mikol ha'makomos v'ashev lev avdeyam la'avdecha. You add that into the bracha, I believe. Hagav im nekar avodas kochavim me'makom echad nasanua b'makom achad. Let's say it was taken from one place, it was put in another place. Mevarach al makom shenekra. Like the first halacha, when you see a place of Avodah Zarah, you say Shnasan Erech Apayim L'Over Ratzono. Gimel Roa Bavel HaRisha. Now, Bavel, according to most people, means Iraq. Present day Iraq is Bavel. So if you go to Iraq, like Shlomi Zion's went to Iraq. I saw a video that Shlomi Zion's went to Ukraine. I don't know what he's doing in Ukraine. It's pretty dangerous to be there. I guess it's more dangerous to go to Iraq. He does it for himself, or he does it for the views. I don't know. Is it really worth risking your life for a YouTube video? Shehechriv Bavel HaRisha. Shehechriv Bavel HaRisha. That Hashem destroyed Bavel HaRisha. You go to Iraq, you see that the economy is not doing so good. I don't know how you would find a house of Nebuchadnezzar where he lived. I don't think this is a place that they turned into a national monument. Apparently there's a bracha for it. You saw the place where the lion den, where Daniel was thrown. Hanani Mishal Bazari were thrown into the Kivshan Aish. Like we said earlier in Siman Reish Ches Daled Ra. You see a certain place in Bavel, it gets stuck there. Until you take the dirt from that city and put it on their backs. I guess it's a curse that animals can't move there. People can move, but animals can't. Anything that's swept with a broom, the dust, will destroy, right? You need the dust, to put the magical dust to put on their backs to make the move. Omer Baruch Omer V'Osa Baruch Gozer Mekayim. I don't know where these localities are. I don't know. The Gemara talks about these localities like we're supposed to know. For me, I like to say a lot of the Gemara is written for the future. Nebuchadnezzar, maybe there was someone who once existed, was Nebuchadnezzar. I believe we will, in Yosef Mashiach, have another Nebuchadnezzar. And we'll decide if he's a good person or a bad person. Hey, Haroah Shishim Ribo Mitzral B'Yachad. You see 600,000 people, Jews, together. I believe this actually happened in Israel in 2013, about 10 years ago, when they voted against the Haredim to impose the draft law on the Haredim. They had a big rally at the entrance to Jerusalem, and I think over 1 million people came. I think they said Baruch Hacham Arazim. If you have a gathering of 600,000 non-Jews, your mother should be embarrassed. The end of Goyim is to go to the wilderness, to go to the desert. Chalak, it's an interesting word. Chalak sounds like the word chelek. According to the Mishnah Berurah, the nation of Klal Yisrael, they're attached, they're chelek from Hashem. So therefore, they use the word chelek as opposed to Allah Zayin, Aroa Chachmei Umas Ha'olam. You see very smart professors in Harvard. They're very wise in the wisdom of the world. You see a really smart mathematician like Einstein and stuff like that, even though Einstein was Jewish. But I don't know if you'd say on Einstein, he wasn't Chachmei Yishal, he was wise in the Chachmas Ha'olam. So I don't know what bracha you would say. I think you'd say Chachmas Ha'Basar Adam. You know he was Jewish, Albert Einstein, but he wasn't knowledgeable in Torah. He was knowledgeable in mathematics. You see a Jewish king. Now, I don't believe a Jewish king is Benjamin Netanyahu. He's a king, prime minister. I don't know if prime minister is a king. I don't know if a president is classified as a king. Generally, I think the accepted halacha is only someone who has the ability, if he wants, he can kill you. That's considered someone who's a king. Joe Biden can't kill somebody, and Benjamin Netanyahu can't kill somebody. So they're not considered, any leaders of the Western world pretty much are not. There are definitely some, in the eastern part of the world, there's a lot of monarchs and presidents that have the ability to do whatever they want. I mean, that's just the way, it's basically a dictatorship. So that in that situation, you see those people, so you would make a bracha. So if it's a Jewish king, we don't have Jewish kings right now. He gave of his honor to Yereya. You say Nasan, again the word Nasan. I will talk about it in Ian Talina. I want to talk about my interpretation. Why by non-Jews you say Nasan, and by Jewish people, specifically Chacham in the Torah, you say Chalak. Ted, mitzvah lahishtad leros malachim. Afil malchi umasalam. The Gemara stresses this numerous times that it's a mitzvah to go see kings, Jewish kings, not Jewish kings. It's a mitzvah to go see them. Why? The Gemara says the reason because ultimately in the time of Mashiach you'll see the difference between a Jewish king and a non-Jewish king. Yud haroa bata yishal b'yeshuvan. If you see Jewish houses, a Jewish community, that's what it sounds like. Now, a Jewish community, I don't know why you make a bracha. Rashi, the Mishnah Berurah quotes Rashi, who says that you see the houses of rich people, rich, fancy mansions. It could go and be Yishuv Bayit Sheni. So if it's during the base of Mikdash around, Omer Baruch Hashem Elokeinu Melech Haolam Matziv Gvul Almana. Haro b'Chorbanon, everyone you see when the base of Mikdash is destroyed, I don't know if Yishuv Bayit Sheni means necessarily that the base of Mikdash is around. It doesn't have to be the base of Mikdash around. It just means a prosperous time for the Jews. So then, even nowadays, you see rich people's houses. You would say this bracha. However, if you see Jewish houses that were destroyed, you see fancy houses of non-Jews. You pray that Hashem. These are Ovdei Kochavim, not non-Jews, people that worship Avodah Zarah. Most people don't worship Avodah Zarah. A lot of people are not religious or atheists. Atheists are not Ovdei Avodah Zarah. People that really, I don't know what would classify as Avodah Zarah nowadays. Strange worship. I'm not going to say what I think Ovdei Avodah Zarah really are. V'chorbanan Omer Kel Nekamos Hashem. When they're destroyed, the houses, the fancy houses of the Ovdei Kochavim are destroyed, you say Hashem takes revenge. Yud Beis Haroa Kivrei Yisrael. You go into a cemetery, a Jewish cemetery. Omer Baruch Hashem Elokeinu Melech Haolam Asher Yatzar Eschem B'Din. If you look in the Gemara, this actually continues. It's not the end of the bracha. We had this earlier. When you see Where is this? When you see a large gathering of 600,000 non-Jews, you also say Bo Shem. You give them a call brachos ariyah im chazav aro, so it's over b'soch shlosh and yamayna chazim mavarich. Again, like I mentioned in the first halacha, all these brachos on seeing something, it has to be something which you want to concentrate on, you want to focus on, and it does something to you to see such a spectacular thing. When you see something spectacular, well, the point of brachos, as I mentioned many times, is to focus on what you're seeing. So if you see it more than once in 30-day period, so it's not spectacular to you, there's no reason to focus on and make a bracha. That's the conclusion of today's share. Stay tuned for Ian Talina, where I talk about a fundamental difference between Talmidei Chachamim, who get a bracha of chalak, and non-Jewish people that are very smart, where you say Nasan, the word Nasan, Mechachmasal Basar V'dam, is a very important difference. I'll talk about that Ian Talina coming up next.